check it, everybody. Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming to Just EK. Let me know if you can hear me. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, EK, and all the fathers. Shout out to yourself. I want to shout out KVK. Bless up yourself. How you doing this morning, KVK? I want to give a shout out to Bev, Auntie's Kitchen in the building. Memorial Red Bag. I see you there. Bless yourself. Welcome, everybody. Good to see you all up here. Happy Sunday. We want to wait for this. Yes, sire. Welcome, Goga. I see you there as we wait for a guest. And today's topic, as you can see there, the topic. You all can see the topic. So, let's see. Goga saying I'm muted. Yeah, I'm back. So today we have a special guest, guys. I know it's Father's Day. Bless up all the fathers. Happy Father's Day, Goga. Happy Father's Day, Goga. Kavi say thank you, Goga. And let's see. I see there's people waiting before. There were some people waiting before. It's Alma Oras. She was saying I'm waiting. And then Margaret Odira. Hey, Margaret Odira, where have you been, Margaret Odira? Margaret Odira, you have been missing. And ladies and gents, without further ado, I want to welcome our special guest tonight. I have papas to a daughter. She's my little daughter. What's she doing? What's going on? We have our special guest in the building, Nazra. You know Nazra? Here she goes. Impressive, Nazra. Let me put your solo layout. Welcome, Nazra. Hi, Nazra. How you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me? I'm good. Can you hear me? Hey.
Yes, we can hear you. Kindly introduce yourself. Yes, we can hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Okay, my name is Liz Nasra. Please. Sorry for that. Okay. This one is 60. Okay. Liz Nasra is okay. Goes on the social media, but my original names are Elizabeth Wandere. Okay. Coming from Nyeri County. Just a minute. Yes, okay. Born in Nyeri County.
Hey, Goga, 10 months. What's here, Goga? Goga, welcome back. My channel member, my oldest channel member.
Goga is in the house.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I was.
Continue. I will do that later.
Okay. Wacha kunisumbua. Yes, so I'm a third born in a family of 8 children, 7 girls and 1 boy. And I'm very grateful to be here on your platform as your co-host or a guest, let me say that. And happy Father's Day to you and the other fathers who are in the house. And I wish all of them a very good time. And also Eid Mubarak to my Muslim brothers and sisters. And I hope that everything is going to be well today. And if you hear any noises and any distractions, you may forgive me because of my children, okay? Oh,
No, it's okay.
Introduction.
Totally understandable. Totally understandable. Big up, shout out to all the mothers. Blessings to all the mothers. So I just want to welcome you and thank you for, I know it's Eid. I know there's a lot going on. It's Eid right now, but I want to appreciate you for giving us this time so we can talk to us about yourself, about your experiences, like about today's Father's Day. Actually, this topic is perfect for today, right? So do you want to say a prayer as we start?
Okay, maybe you can lead the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, because
okay, guys,
Islam...
let's say a quick prayer. Let me say a quick
Yeah.
prayer then, and then we start.
Okay. And
All right.
before
I'm
you
gonna.
start,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, maybe someone may be asking why you didn't want to do the prayer. It's because sometimes in Islam you have some in a situation that you can't make a prayer. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So where I
Okay.
am
Yeah,
right
I
now, I'm
understand.
not able
I
to do
understand.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You can.
Okay.
Okay.
I can understand. Mhm.
Okay.
So we're gonna say a quick prayer as we do
Okay.
this session. People will find healing, people will be blessed, and people will be restored from ancient truth. Let's pray. Almighty God, creator of the heaven and earth, we thank you this morning, evening, whatever part of the world. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for the gift of good health. Thank you that you've given us the gift of sound mind. We want to pray as we start this session. Almighty God, you're going to touch somebody. Hold on. I think I'm having problem. Hold on real quick. As I God, just wait for a minute as I fix this. We pray that Lord, as we celebrate our fathers this day, that people who have gone through childhood experiences, childhood traumas in the hands of their fathers, in the hands of their stepfathers, we pray that as we kick off this session, as our guest speaks about her experiences, I pray that many other people who have suffered as were growing up in the hands of their fathers and their stepfathers, that they're never able to speak up. As they listen and as we share this message, I pray that somebody's going to be touched, somebody's going to be healed, somebody's going to be restored, that those ancient wounds will be broken, those ancient pains will be broken, and their mind will be renewed. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So God bless you. God bless you, everybody, and thank you for coming. You're Muslim, I'm Christian, and I grew as a Muslim. So, briefly, let's go ahead because you're the guest. You're the guest. I mean, this platform is all you. Ladies and gents, kindly, I pray if you don't have Liz Nasra, kindly go subscribe to her channel. If you don't, this is her second channel. The first one she couldn't continue because she got a baby and she couldn't do it. So I pray that you guys you guys go ahead and support her, subscribe to her channel. She's looking for WH right now. So, Liz Nasser, I talked to you, and you mentioned like you actually when I was telling my story before,
Yeah.
if you remember very well, I was telling my story Baba well, and you reached
Mhm.
out to me and you said, EK, I also have a story to tell, and I would like maybe someday we do this, right? And here you are.
Yes.
Briefly tell us, like you as Nasra, because you look at the title, my father, my stepfather. You can tell us briefly what, tell us.
Okay, so I will start with the explaining since I was born and those things. As I said, I was born as a dad born in my family of nine, 8 children. That is 7 girls and 1 boy, and I was the dad born. So it happened sometimes back, and we lived in Nyeri, and that is when my
Mm-hmm.
mom got married, and she met her lover, that is my dad, and may his soul rest in peace. And happy Father's Day to him, where he is. So it started as when you're young, as like this age, you can't be able to know whatever is happening, but you can be telling that there's something fishy that is happening in your family, right? So
Mm-hmm.
as I was at the age of 1 year, I started noticing that some weird things are happening in my family because my dad, he was a drunkard. There now two elder sisters were about 3 years and 5 years. The difference is 2 years. So then they would know whatever is happening. But for me, because I was so young, I wouldn't know. But I saw my mom was being beaten. Some things sometimes she was being thrown out of the house at night, and she will end up sleeping outside. The K apple fence that is Kenyans, they like that one, right? The Keyapo?
Go
Ike?
ahead.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes when my dad would come out of his work, from work, he was a driver, a matatu driver. He was a matatu driver, so many times he was coming back home drunk. And we would find that he sent to mom some money because my mom used to go to the tea plantation to pick tea, and then as you know, in Nyeri there's a specific day that you pick tea, and then you take it to the factory. So that is how she was
Mm-hmm.
earning her living.
Yeah.
And then the other one for the dad as a matatu driver. So
Mm-hmm.
when he was coming back home drunk, I remember there was a day that he found that food was cooking on the fire, and then he hit that food with the leg. So all the food got poured on the ash, and you can't be able, so that food you can't collect it to eat. So that day we slept hungry, you see, because he was drunk. He wasn't that bad dad because he would provide for us anything that we want as his children, but he was so
Mm-hmm.
toxic to my mom. Okay. So I remember
Mm-hmm.
there was a specific day that he took a knife. He came drunk. He took a knife. That was the first day I witnessed my mom almost dying. He
Mm-hmm.
took a knife and he wanted to I think he wanted to slaughter her, to stab her, let me just say that. And he ended up, I think something changed his mind, and asked my mom, do you want me to cut you? You see, he's a drunk, you see. Do you want me to cut you? And then my mom said, what do you want me to tell you? Because he had his that time his parents were alive, and they used to condemn his act so much because they blessed his marriage, and they told him that this is the only wife I want to see in your house. This land I have left for you, and it's the biggest part that I have given you for you to be able to raise your children. Okay. So I remember that time my mom screamed because she wanted, where we were living, it wasn't that far from where my grannies were living. So it was just like 100 meters next. So The parents came and they came and found that my mom was, when you look at, we have so many veins on the hand. So that is where he had cut her. She had a very deep cut and she was bleeding. And then, when the blood is coming out of your body, you start feeling like dizzy because it was too much blood, right? So that was the first time I witnessed my mom's almost dying, because that time I think I was almost 1 year and a half, but I wouldn't tell something was what was the cause, but I knew that something is not right. When you see your mom crying or anyone next to you crying, you would tell that something is not right with it. So at that time she was taken to the hospital, and so many things happened after that thing. That is now became like a kawaida, let me say. It became like a behavior or a habit, let me say, because he would come back home, find my mom, she has already cooked. He won't eat the food. And what he would do, when we are in the house, me and my sisters, and my mom, maybe she's doing something in the kitchen. Maybe my mom is doing something in the kitchen, so he would lock the door and send her out and tell her, you can go sleep with the dogs outside. You see, that's like trying to make her like she's an animal, not like respecting her in front of the children that they have bared together. So I used to see that my sisters, because they already know what is happening, they would leave the house and say, even me, I'm not going to sleep in the house. I would follow my mom. And my mom, she wasn't even having something to cover them. So many nights that they slept next to the K-Apple fence with the dogs of the village. And then so many things happened. And I remember there was a time that my mom came to her last, and she made a decision that I'm not going to be, despite like this, I'm not going to stay in this relationship that is giving too much problem in my life. I'm not going to stay like I don't have my own house. Okay. So she made a decision and she decided to go back to her parents' home. You see, there was a time that she left that house, and she left with my two sisters, and my dad refused for her to take me with her, sorry. He refused that I'm not going to go with my mom. Remember that time I was still young, a toddler, let me just say that. And it reached to a point my mom said, I don't care if you're going to be left with her, just be left with her. I'm going, you're not going to kill me in this house. So that time my mom left and she went back home. I remember, and I'm sorry to say this because this is a family issue, but I want to talk because I know we have parents out here who are watching. We have some people who are almost they want to get married, and we have some people who are married. Okay. So when my mom left that home, her house, she went to her parents' home. Now it's starting to struggle from zero to going up. Okay. It reached to a point that my dad's mom passed, and now it was time for me to go with my mom. My mom.
Sorry. Go ahead.
By her.
Sorry
for that. My mom was called by her, let me say, her father-in-law to come and pick me because he wouldn't be able to take good care of a child who is young, and now the one who was helping him is no more. So she went to the burial, and then she came back with me. Now that is where the problem now began to grow, because now my grandma used to be like, now that is my mom's mom, let me say that, from my mom's side. She used to be so harsh and strict to my mom. Because I remember my mom was going to Vibaruas. As you know, she was working at other people's farms, going to wash clothes. And when she goes, sometimes you might find, you remember those old days, that if someone doesn't have money to pay you, they will end up giving you what they have. Maybe food, maybe flour, maybe maize. Okay, that is how she used to be paid. Anytime that she will come back with that little that she have earned, remember she have been all day working, maybe she slept hungry. My grandma used to take that money or that food, she cook, she feed her children. That is now my uncles and my aunts, you see. And she would stay working in the small farm. That is my other sisters, and me, I would stay there, eat githeri. You know githeri, maize and beans, very hard for a 2-year-old baby, right?
Yes,
So
very.
yeah, my mom struggled, and then she saw that this time now I'm not going to continue like this. Now I remember that there was a time her uncle, that is her dad's biggest, let me say, elder uncle, elder brother, decided to give her a small house that he had, and it was a vacant. So he decided to give her there. She can start life with the small that she's earning. He gave her a bed and other households like the pots and other things, because when she left my dad's house, she never came back with anything. So she started from zero. My dad, when he noticed that my mom has now moved to her own space, he used to come at night drunk. And I remember there was a time that me and my other sisters, now this time I have grown too old. I was, I think, like class 1 or let me say grade 1 or grade 2, grade 3 there. So I started knowing that there are some things that are happening and they are not normal in our life. So my dad one day came, and because my mom noticed that he is drunk, she locked the door from inside. And I remember that we saw our dad trying to pluck the wood. The house was made of wood, okay? So he was trying to pluck the wood so that he can get inside, right? Remember the situation that my mom is having with her mom. She cannot call for help from that family, from that side. So my mom told me, you can open the window and go call your grandpa, the owner of the house, to come, and he can come with other people so that he can handle this thing that is going to happen here. And my elder sisters said, because that time they were like grade 8 and the other one was grade 6. They said, no, we are not going to call him. What we are going to do, we are going to stand here, let him open. Let him remove those wood and get inside. We are going to beat him. You see, now you are against your dad, right? But because of what they saw happening when they were growing up, even how he used to torture her, how he almost killed her with a knife. Now this time round, they were very ready to defend their mom, right? My mom is very tiny. She's very tiny than me. She's very short. I think she's, I don't know. When you see her, you can think that she's maybe grade 7 there. She's very small, let me say that.
Oh, she's petite.
Yeah, she's very, I don't know, is maybe she was born like that. I don't know. Those genes came from where, because my uncles are very yeah. So remember now, this time we have decided that we are not going to call for help, because maybe if you call for help, it was at night. Late at night, around those midnight hours. So going to knock at someone's door, it would be so annoying, right? So they decided, because we used to cook with firewood, so they decided everyone with a stick. And my mom was there watching, asking herself, who raised you? You see, she's still defending her husband, right? Who raised you? Why do you want to beat your dad? This is not, you see. And we told, she told them, because she told them because me, I was that age, you know, you will do what your elder sister is doing so that you can defend your mom, right? Because he told, if I get inside here, I'm going to make all of you cry. You see? And he have come all the way from, I think, I don't know how many kilometers, but he have come so that he can come make problem in the house. But my mom used to allow him in the house, because she usually used to remember the words her in-laws told the husband, right? So she used to say, maybe I don't want that curse to follow me. If maybe I don't want him to come, that curse will follow me, right? So she used to do that so that she could not be followed by that curse. And my sister one day told her that, Mama, if you are going to die, who is going to raise us? So let us protect you right now that we have strength. And right now we know that we can be able to do something that can help you. So remember, this time now they are going to baruas, they're going to work on other people's farm, they're going to, now she's trying to provide for us and other things. It reached to a point that my grandfather saw that this thing is going to bring a lot of problem and chaos in this family. So he decided to chase my mom away from that house, right? So now she's not free. She was not paying rent. She has gone to somewhere, now she will be paying rent.
Yeah.
When she went there, and now my dad was still following her and other things, and she reached to a point that she went to, I think, headman. You know something like that?
Yes, I know headman. There's chief, headman, DC, and that. Yes, I know.
Yeah, the one who is in charge of the village. So she reached a point and she went to report my dad to that person, and he was warned not to come again in my mom's house to bring problem. If you're coming, come see your children, greet them, and go. And now he at least stopped coming too much. He would come during the day, say hi, and he go. And that time he is coming, no one even is caring. We would see him coming at the, because it's villages, they have small roads there that they are, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean. Chochoro. Yes. We call them alleys, like back street.
Yeah, we would see him and run, because there is a corner so that he can start coming, and it's a long way. So we would see him and we run away. And we close the house with the padlock, so that, because we don't want to see him. And now it's reached to a point, and my mom found another man. And she felt that maybe when I find this one, it's going to help me maybe pay for school fees and what other. And so she decided to get married again. Little did she know that moving in with this one is going to be worse than whatever she was facing in her first husband's house. Okay, that is my dad. So I remember there was a time that when we were starting, he was a very good man. He used to give us everything that we are asking. He used even to pay for school fees, even when the term is not yet finished. And I remember there was a time that we decided to move from that place that we were. That was in the same town with my grandmother. So we decided to go to another place called Kiganjo. So we moved from Kericho.
Yeah, I know Kiganjo.
Yeah, it is in Nyeri County. You can know that. It's not that far. Yeah. So when we reached there, now things turned upside down. Let me tell you. The person that you knew that he will wake up early to go look for money so that he can cater for you. Now he has changed. He is telling my mom, wake up, go to Nyeri, or go buy. He used to roast maize to earn a living. Let me say that.
So this is your biological father?
No, this is now a stepdad.
Oh, okay. Yes, my dad. So we finished with we finished with your biological dad, right? Now you're talking about your stepfather.
Now I'm giving a story of how it went.
Okay.
Because
all right.
Even after that,
so let's pull it back again now until you come to the stepfather. Just a little. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me say, now it reached to a point that my dad, now when he was reported, he stopped coming like several times. You get? Yeah. So before he stopped coming several times, that is when I said my mom was kicked out of the house. Kicked out of the house by the uncle, because now he saw that this house is going to bring too much problem, and now my mom moved out to another place, and that is where now she found, after a while, that is where she found another lover. That is now my stepdad. You get it?
Yes. I get it.
So
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so after living for a while, because he knew that we are next to my mom's family, so he wouldn't do crazy things. So when we
Okay.
moved to the other place, that is when now he started using drugs, hard drugs like, let me not mention them because you know they are hard drugs that they're not even supposed to mention them on the or to air them anywhere. So I
Mm.
remember there was a time that he used to wake up, he go with his gang, he go smoke those things. Now when he's going to look for those things, let me say the ones that he used to sell, that is he used to sell sugarcane during the day, and later in the evening he used to roast some maize. So we used to go that during the evening, me and my mom, we are the one that who is going to to roast the maize, and as him, he go to party with his friends. So it reached to a point that those drugs started taking a lot of his, let me say, a lot of his emotions. Like it started like controlling his body. I remember that there is a time that now this one I saw that my mom is going to die. He used to come home. He's high. Let me just say, use that name as that word as we use it in Kenya. You see, someone is this one. If you talk to him, maybe he's saying like it's a cartoon or something funny that is talking to him. I remember that time we had not noticed that he had hid a machete or a panga. Let me say that in Kenya. Kenyan, we know it as a panga, or other people they call it machete. So it was on top. It was on top of a roof, and then I don't know what happened. They started arguing with my mom, and he went and said, "You have become so disrespectful." And my mom was trying to tell him, "Right now I can't be able to go and roast the maize, but I'll come later." And he said, "No, no, no, no. I'm not going to stop going where I'm going so that I can go work for your own children that I have not bared with you." Okay? So after that, I remember that he took the panga and my mom went out because our house was next to the road. As you know that Nyeri Nanyuki, I think it's called Nyeri Nanyuki Highway. You know it?
Yes, I
So it
know
was
it.
just next. Yes, it was just next to the road where we lived. I
That's
remember that
from
time he took a
Marwa.
machete.
You go to Marwa, go all the way to
Yes,
Nanyuki, right?
yes, that road.
Uh-huh.
So he took a machete
Uh-huh.
and wanted to slash my mom. And all the
Wow.
villagers, because it started like a commotion, like fighting, small, throwing each other words, you know, dirty words. And because he was on drugs, he would say anything to my mom, and my mom would reach to a point and she look at him like this because she don't have any words to say. You have ever heard of people who throw words until now you are speechless, you can't say anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom reached to a point and she said, you know, you can do whatever you want. That is when he reached to a point and took the panga or the machete and he wanted to slash. My sister, who is elder, she was in the house and she heard us screaming, me and the other one who is in front of me, the second boy. So she came and hold his hand because if you know, my mom was facing and now someone is behind him, someone is behind her. So you know, like it would have come in a direction that she's not seeing. I remember that he had when my sister held his hand and took that, it was a very big fight because now those people who are outside, they cannot come because they know this person is a drunkard, is a drug addict, and if you go next to him, he can do anything to you. Right there, he's seeing like it's something just normal to him. That was the second time that I witnessed my mom almost died, and when he took
So
when
let
we
me
took
ask you.
that.
Let me ask you
Sorry.
this.
Yeah.
Other than your mom, did this guy used to abuse you as kids?
Yeah. Yes.
So physical, verbal abuse, or what kind of?
I remember there was a time that he tried, and this one is going to be so harsh on that. He tried to molest my elder sister, who is before me, right?
Oh.
Because the first one, he used to hate her. He used to hate my firstborn sister. So the second one, because she knew whatever he wanted to do, she ran to the police, and now I think that is when that he got that anger, because he got arrested. And he never said. And my sister never even told my mom whatever happened. So that is when we came to realize later that this is what caused this one, this man almost to slash my mom's neck. Okay. And after that, when we took that, let me just continue the story so that I can come to the point where now he used to abuse us. It reached to a point that when my sister grabbed that, when she grabbed that panga, let me just use a panga, that man became so violent, and now he didn't attack my sister, because she was telling him, if you come near me, I'm going to cut you, okay? I'm going to slash you into pieces. Right there, she had finished her class 8, so she was so ready to defend her mom. Me, I was screaming because there's where we were living, there is 2 petrol stations. There's one they're just down the next to the road, and there's another one like a few meters away. So when she grabbed that, and he saw now this one is going to be serious, and people, they were trying to scream because we had dogs. He had bought some dogs, so no one would have entered that place. Luckily, I managed to jump over the fence, and by God's grace, let me just say that my mom's dad was coming from somewhere called Chaka. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I know Chaka. I know Chaka.
Yes, he was coming from there. I think he went to do some shopping, and we screamed because I saw this is my grandfather. Because I was trying to call the people from the petrol, those are men, and they can be able to come and deal with him. Because right there, he was slapping my mom all over, and my mom was bleeding, and she was screaming, saying that I'm going to die. Please take me to the hospital. I'm going to die. Please take me to the hospital. Call the police, crying for help, and no one can come because all those who are there, they were women, and as you know, women sometimes they like gossip. They like to see you suffer. Sometimes, as they say, mwanamke ndo, there are other women's, I don't know what, enemy, right? So when my grandfather had me calling him, the other people had already crossed the road, and they were coming to rescue my mom. He came, and he found that he can't even be able to look at his daughter, that is my mom, because her face was all swollen and full of, running blood from her nose. So he called the police, and these people, they tied the man down so that he cannot run, because he was on drugs. He cannot run or do something crazy to us. So he was taken to the police, and my mom was taken to the hospital. She was done a first aid, and we thank God, because she had not been so much injured. It was that she was, when you beat someone on the face, the blood starts coming from the nose. So luckily, she was not broken anywhere, and she had no internal bleeding. We thank God. So after that, I think my mom sometimes she had there's that humble woman who doesn't like so much dramas. So when he was bailed, let me say that, I think he was bailed, or he was just let to go. Let me say that I don't know what happened between that, because you don't know, maybe sometimes you find that you are reporting someone and whomever you are reporting him to is his friend, you get? So he stayed for some days, and he came out of the cell. So my mom still allowed him in the house, and we were so angry. I remember my sister said that, I'm not going to live in this house, and that is when she ran away from that house and went to our cousin's house, to our cousin's home, to work as a house help. That is now the elder sister. Now from that place, from that point, that is when now he stopped beating my mom. But what he used to do, he used to come to you know, someone who is he says now he's not going to be attacking the one who is known that niseme nini. You see, when you bite this point, now you're not going to bite this one, you're going to bite the weak point. You get what I mean? Yes. Now he
Yeah, I
stopped
get it.
attacking my mom. He came to the children. That is now when he started to molest my sister. That was the elder one, the one who was in front of me, because the other one had already gone to work. Yes, she ran because she knew now this one, if my mom have allowed this monster to come back in the house, I'm not gonna live with her in the same house. Let me go, let her die when I'm not there. You know, you reach to that point that you give up and you say, if you yourself you're not gonna help yourself, I'm not going to help you. So I remember that there was a time I used to go to school, and as you know, lower primary, they usually go back home early than the other one, right? For me, I remember there was a day I came back home. I never knew that my mom was not at home, because she used to go to the farm to do some weeding to the plants and whatever. So I came back home from school. And you know, as kids we play so much, and I got late home because as you come home, you have friends, you're jumping, you go, you stop where you do so funny things. And I remember that time I came, I knocked the door because he had already hid his had a bicycle. So anytime I was coming from school, I was seeing his bicycle, but that day I didn't see it. So I went inside the house, and whatever he did, I usually don't like talking about it, but because I'm here to open up to help people, what he did is he locked the house and started molesting me. At that point, that is how I started feeling, no, something is not good. And what he told me, if you scream or if you tell someone, I'm going to kill you. And he told me, when you see your mom, behave normally, behave like there's nothing that have happened. That was the first day. The second day he did the same. That day I think he was crazy or mad, let me say that, because he was getting out of the house, lock the door with the padlock, and get out of the window, and then come back you get through the window. You get what I mean? Because I had my keys, I would come open and find someone in the house. There was a time that he held kanishika hivi, let me just talk in Swahili, and I was restless. Alinibana mdomo that I wouldn't even remove it, even if I scream, no one would hear. And that is when he did whatever he did, that shit. And when my mom came, she was just like, something is not okay with you. What is wrong? But because I know, if I tell you, we might end up dying, the two of us. You get that fear? And my mom was just like, no, if you're not going to tell me, I'm going to beat you. Another mistake that parents do, you should be so kind and so calm to your children until you know what is happening in their lives. Now my mom threatened me. Remember, I have the first threat of killing you. I'll kill you and kill your mom, right? So I know now this one, my mom is going to beat me, and already something is wrong. Remember, when a young girl is molested or raped, let me use that name because he raped me, you can notice by how she is walking, because she is too young for that thing, right? And my mom said, no, something is wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. But because I remember, if I tell you, we might end up dying, the two of us. So what I did, I started crying. And because I didn't have anything to tell her, I told her nothing. I just feel sad because I don't have a good dad. And she used to tell me, no, I know you hate your dad so much, so that is not the reason, tell me. And she started beating me. She reached to a point that she told me, sasa nitakuchoma na makaa, hautaniambia, I know there's something wrong. And she went ahead and looked what is happening, because she knows you know, those are old women, wamama wa kitambo, let me say that. They know if you're lying, they're going to confirm it for themselves. And she found that I'm so messy, something happened and I'm not talking. She asked me, who did this to you? I told her, I'm not going to tell you. Even if you kill me, that is what I told her. Even if you kill me, I'm not going to tell you. Just kill me, mom. I'm not going to tell you, because I know you, even if he start beating you right now, you cannot help yourself. You cannot even be able to run before he gets hold of you. So I decided to keep quiet, and until right now, my mom never knew that something happened to me. And that is the man, something happened to me, and that is the man who did that. So after that, and she told me, kuna mtu alikunyanyasa ukitoka shule? Kamwambia, no, no one did that. And why are you like this? And because, let me tell you, my mom is blessed with the bright children, let me say that. Because I used to be the top. If I'm not number one, I'm number two. And because of that, because you know, as someone molest you, and I come from a humble family, we would not even afford something like pads, we would not even afford something like brass. So I started growing, or my breast started to become big, and I would go with the, you know, that thing you feel like now the ones you're learning with, they are younger than you because of the body changes. Luckily enough, I never got pregnant from that. And now what I used to do, when I come out of school and I check like this, I see, here it looks like he's at home. No, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there. I'll go to my uncle's carpentry workshop. I go sit there. I wait for my mom she's coming from the farm. We go home, and she would come, shout to me, and ask me why you didn't go home to wash your uniform and other things. And I tell her, no, I just don't want to go home. And because my uncle was having the workshop, is somewhere you can see him leaving the house. So immediately he leaves, I will go inside, change the house, change the clothes. That is if my mom is got late, and I come back and wait for my mom at the workshop for my uncle. So it reached to a point that my mom got tired of that, and because me, I niliapa, let me just say that. Niliapa, I'm not going to tell her whatever happened. And so I remember that there is a day, now nimekwambia, that is a kawaida, nilikuwa nimeifanya kawaida ya ninakuja, ninatulia hapo kwa workshop, nikishamuona ameenda, that is when now I would start going back home. That is maybe an hour after I get we come out of school, or 2 hours. So there was a time that I remember I went home and he came back. From now nimemuona ameenda, and then he came back. He was just like, oh, umejua chenye nafanyanga. You see, now you remember, I know what is happening, because now right there I'm around grade 4, grade 5, let me say that. So now I know we have started being taught in the school that we have these things and this and this. You find that some changes and what in the body and what. So that time I knew, and I was like, what I did, he told me, endo niletee hizo viatu ziko hapo nje, and that is how I ran, because I knew if I go back in that house, he will continue doing the nonsense that he does. Let me just call it nonsense. And after that, nilikimbianga, and he came after me. You know, he was saying what? Mwizi, mwizi, mwizi. And I was just like, mimi sio mwizi. You know, a grade 4, let me just say a grade 4. A child running, and a big man is running after her. And my uncle, that is when I told my uncle, huyu anataka kunifanyia kitu mbaya. He wants to do something wrong, something bad to me. And he asked me what? Because he had a work so. He told him, jaribu kuja hapa. Jaribu. And because they know his behavior, that is beating my mom and doing so many crazy things, that is when my uncle told me, alikuwa ataka kufanyia nini? And I told him, me uncle siwezi kuambia. Why? Because I have that fear. Because when I tell him, he will take his friends and go to fight the man. and because anakamatwa akiachiliwa, so we had no safe place to run to. So I told my uncle, no, one day when I feel free, I'm going to tell you. And he told me, I'll be waiting. But ukitokea shule utakuwa unakaa hapa hadi mama yako akuje. Okay?
Wow.
So after that, you see now this is a beautiful essay. This is now you have come from a place that you are being beaten. At least my dad never used to do that molestation or the raping or what, because he respects his children. So, but this one now, because he knows, maybe I take it like he knows this is not his blood. That is why he used to do those crazy things. And until that time, that is when I said, even in school, I started becoming like, you know, that girl that akiapproachiwa na any boy, because of the anger and the hatred that I have towards him, I'll start beating even men, even on the road. If I see you shouting and you are chukua tu kamawe na kugonga ndachifanya sio mimi. I remember that my mom used to be called to school because of how I'm beating boys for no reason. If you try to take my if you try to take either of my things without my permission, I'll end up disciplining you in a way that hata mamako hawezi kufanya hivyo. So my mom used to tell me that unajua hiyo chuki uko nayo kwa wanaume, siku moja tu utakuja kuwapenda. And I used to tell her, no mama, I can't. Mimi siwezi penda wanaume. Aniuliza kwa nini? But because I don't want to tell her, because I know she ni wale wa mama ukasirikia ndani, you know those women, and she would be maybe judging me, why didn't you tell me? But I knew even if I tell you, mama, you're not going to do anything. Maybe we would have ended up dying, or one of us to end up being in a place that they will never, they will stay, or they will live regretting why they did that thing. So it reached to a point, and I told my mom, wacha mimi nikuambie, siku yenye nitaona mwanamume kwa hii nyumba napotea na hautainiona tena. And from that time, only my dad used to come see us and go. Even he never used to come and sleep in the house. The only time that he came to sleep in the house is when now he got sick, until to his demise. So unfortunate that hata he used to ask for funds, but because sisi wote si ni vile tuko pazuri, used to see it that like wewe ulituacha tukiwa tunakuhitaji sana, and you made you created a space for someone who is a monster in our life to come. So right now we don't care about you. We don't care about anyone that is going to be mentioning your name in front of us. And it reached to a point that his sister, who is I'm named after her, let me say that, she used to tell us, unajua huyu ni baba yako, hata aende wapi atarudi, ataishi tu kwa baba yako. And that is the time that my sister donated blood, because he needed blood. He reached to a point that he needed blood. And hata akipewa damu, he is not grateful. He said, ulikuwa unakataa kunipatia damu because you thought unaniuzia. Because you thought unaniuzia. And she said, tena niona nikikusaidia. Rege unajua Wakikuyu mkasirika sana. Si understand Kikuyu eke?
Yeah, I understand Kikuyu. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, she said, rege gonage gotaidia. Because now you
basically she means that's your dad now, right?
Yes, that is my dad.
Like now who is swearing? Your mom? Your mom is on saying that?
It's my sister.
Oh, so she's saying even though the dad was cruel and mean and all that, at some point he needed blood. Yeah. And the older sister donated blood, but the dad was still being nasty. Like he was still being ungrateful. And then she was like, oh, even though I'm helping you, you're still doing this. May God help me, but I'll ever help you again. Basically, that's what she's saying.
What she means. Yeah. And after that, that is when now maybe my mom got so angry because he used also to disrespect her. in front of the children, because I have
Mm-hmm.
younger siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, no, 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 never again. You will never come in my house. And that is how he went to his sisters to stay there until he passed. And now let me come to a point, or I wait for your questions so that you may ask me
Okay.
how, because I had sweared I'll never love men, how I came to get my husband.
All right. I really appreciate you for coming and being, to share your story. It takes a lot of courage and
Yeah,
confidence to share deep stuff like that, you know,
yeah,
because a lot of people, we see people and we look at people and we don't know the story behind. We judge people by the face value, but how they look.
yeah,
Until somebody tells you, or we think everybody's okay, but until
yeah,
somebody tells you their story, then you're like, wow, that is why
yeah,
somebody behaves the way they behave. So thank you for coming and sharing that story. So I want to ask you this,
yeah,
because this sounds like incredibly like challenging. Like, you're a mother.
mm,
I see you're a mother of two.
yeah.
How did this affect you, your relationship, like as you got older? I know you mentioned in school you used to like bully boys and all that stuff, but over
Yeah,
time, as you grew older, now you're a mother. How did
yeah.
that like affect you, a relationship? Have you dated before? I know I see you have children, you're married, but
Yeah.
by the time you got to that point, how did you overcome it? And how did it affect your relationship?
Okay, how it happened? I went to a
Hmm.
children's home. That is when now my mom became like, she bared other children with the stepdad. Now life
Hmm.
became so hard because now she had already left the other husband. Now she was single, a single mom of
Hmm.
eight. Let me say that. So she decided, and she had there's a vacant of people who are going to take children in children's homes. So we
Hmm.
were the first to be what to be taken, because whomever brought that message is a person who knows my mom. Nyamaza is a person who knows my mom, and she used to work for her on the farm. So she
Hmm.
took us there, and now I started knowing, because even when I went in a children's home, if you talk something ill about me because of the anger
Hmm.
and the hatred I have towards boys, I would beat you. I'll beat any man who comes around to start joking with me. I remember there's a boy
Hmm.
who, and that is how I changed. A boy who came and started saying that, if you don't change this way, you'll never get children. You don't. And I got so angry and I beat him like a baby. We were in the same
Hmm.
class, and
Hmm.
it ended up to a point that I injured him to a point that he was taken in the hospital. So
Hmm.
the ladies called me, that is the matrons and the staffs who were working there, and they told me, I
Hmm.
want to know where your problem is, and that is where I opened up, because now I was in grade 8. I
Hmm.
opened up and they told me things happen in life, even as ukituona hapa, it doesn't mean that we have come from soft life, or we didn't have those too much challenges or what. One even told me that I live with a husband who usually beat me each and every minute, and I have never left. So for you, you're still so young to keep hating boys. What that your dad did, or your biological, or your stepdad did, it doesn't mean that all men are like that. So you need to change your energy. But it took me so long. But they kept telling me, praying, singing, we will clean that, all of it, all, because it looked like no unatasikia roho ikiwa chafu. A minute.
Hmm.
Sorry for that. He was banging the table, and I decided to tell him to stop. Yes, good boy. Yes. So that is when I decided to be a church girl. Let me say that. And when I used to share my problem with my other ladies who are in the children's home, they used to encourage me and tell me, kitu itakuja tu kuisha. Let's keep praying and asking God for help, and let's just keep trying and trying and trying each and every minute. But it ended up hata nikiwa form 4 nikiwa bado nachukia men, or let me say boys, let me say that, because of that thing. I knew now nikicheza hapa, because sometimes you find ushapata boyfriend or other things. I don't mean to offend anyone, but you find that some ladies drop out of school because of those things. I have so many friends who have whom we finished form 4 with when they were pregnant. So for me, I used to say, maybe nitaolewa na mtu who is going to be definitely like my dad, or not so far than my stepdad. So, but when nilimaliza school, that is the secondary school, I came to realize, and my sister, I noticed that the one who was my biggest shield, let me say that, she's already married and life is going on well, and she has a very good husband. So that is when I realized that all men are not the same. And sasa akili ikatulia kidogo, but I still have, if I see someone fighting, atusikizani mimi. Yeah.
So let me ask you, and that's a lot of, first of all, that's a lot of trauma
Yeah.
after trauma.
Yes.
And that sometimes we try to just cover up. You feel that you're all right, but have you ever been able to deal with it? Let's say, like, have a discussion with your mom. Did she ever find out what happened to you with your stepfather?
No, even up to date.
So you've never actually, so you have an ancient wound that's still there, but it has not healed. Yeah. And I'm sure subconsciously you blame your mom. You don't blame the guy. You blame your mom, because I saw this. Actually, a lot of things you mentioned here is something I experienced as I was growing up. But sometimes mothers who are single mothers, I have saw that with my mom. They let a man come into their lives because he's paying bills, he's providing food, he's providing shelter. They get away with whatever they do. So have you ever sat down with your mom and tell mom, I mean, because that would be a good step to sit with your mom, and because you might seem you're okay, but it still hurts you on the inside, subconsciously. So have you, like, your dad, your mom sit down and how's your relationship?
Let me tell you, I think I was created differently. Let me say that. There is someone out there who would have passed the same, and they find that they can sit down with someone and talk. But me, because I'm that person who is not, like, I fear when someone says, oh, Paulus, I hate that, because that one is going to break my heart so much. I have never told anyone, but I find that strength to sit on the phone and discuss with someone who is not next to me. You get it? So I'm that different person. I have never sat down with someone, maybe my mom or my sister or any friend, to tell them what happened to me. But I can talk it on the social media. Because now that time I know there is no one who is going to be saying sorry, pole kama ungejua, because sometimes I tend to assume that if I sit down and tell you this is what happened, You might end up we have different people. Let me say why I fear to talk out that story. Face a one-on-one, right? Because you have that one type of person who will come and say, you're very stupid. Why didn't you tell your mom? You're very stupid. Why didn't you go to report that person? Very stupid. Why didn't you try to defend yourself? Remember that time I was still young. So that time, that thing, if you tell me, it's going to make me to never share anything that will happen in my life. That is number one of that, of why I fear to talk it to people one-on-one. The second one is I would talk to someone and she is ignorant. You see, there's that person of judging. We have judging people. We have other ones that they are ignorant. Maybe you're talking to someone and they're just like, hiyo hata sio kitu na mimi you see. So that one is another reason why I never. Number 3 is we have that person who feel too much mercy, who will pity you on what happened to you, and they start, and mimi that hizo pole ndo sipendi. I know, because the moment you start telling me sorry, hugs mama and quote, that is the moment that I'll break down and that thing will never get out of my heart. So I usually avoid to talk with people one-on-one, but I'm a very good person to encourage someone, talk out. Find someone that you're free with and tell them your problem. But for me, I better talk it on social media because I know maybe I'm going to create awareness to so many people. Because and on social media, you will avoid to read the comments, right? Yes, so that is why I never talked to anyone about that.
So let me ask you another question.
Okay.
After all these experiences with, let's start with your dad. Yes. Have you ever reached out to your dad, and how is it? Would you wish him, today is Father's Day, have you wished him Father's Day? Because I know there's somebody watching here, but maybe more than one, who maybe went through similar experience, or maybe somebody else is angry at the dad because he was never there. Maybe they divorced with the mom, or maybe they are not even married. Yes. Do you still hold that anger, bitterness? Maybe you think, oh, if my dad was never abusive to my mom, would not have ended up with a stepdad. Do you still feel that bitterness, anger, and how's your relationship with your dad?
Actually, for me, let me just say that for my dad, he's late right now, and the anger I usually have up to date is that one for the one who raped me, because I know that he did something to make my mom suffer, right? I hate someone who makes my mom feel pain. I hate someone who makes my mom, cry inside the heart. There's a crying of zila, you see the tears coming, and there's a weeping of ile ya ndani kabisa. So that one, because I never opened up to my mom. I remember up to date that my mom is, she usually keep asking me what happened that time, what happened, but I'll never tell her. So to my dad, funny enough, after I saw him, after nimemaliza the high school, I told him, my dad, you have become so old because he's a drunkard, as I mentioned before. Nikikuja hapo utalia. He's a drunkard. He was a drunkard, let me say that, because now he's late. So I used to tell him, Dad, you see the way you are, so that means that I still care about him, and I have no any other anger. I used to tell him, Dad, unaona venye umezeeka juu ya kunywa hizo pombe. So Dad, you have become so, you see, and he would tell me, my daughter, I'm going to stop. So that minute that he got so sick that he was to go for a surgery, but he can't be operated because of how weak his body is. And let me tell you, my dad was, even the door, you see, simlango inakuanga 2 meters, let me say. He was so tall and very big. he used to kuinama akipita. Hangepita akiwa stressed. Yeah, because he was, the moment I saw him when he got sick, because that time I was already married. Now after kumuona ile, unaona sasa kale ka hatred kameisha. The moment I saw him on the bed, that he's being changed to the diapers, he cannot even be able to put or feed himself. I used to feel so much pain in my heart. And I used to say that ningekuwa na uwezo ningekutibu, but I wouldn't tell him because singemwambia kwa mdomo. I used to say it inside my heart, because I know maybe when someone is too weak, if you share something that is looking like you're pitying them, or you see like they are not gonna make it, that one might make the person too weak. So I remember that it reached to a point that my dad called me, because he felt like he's not gonna do it anymore. He called me and told me, my daughter, anytime I will give you a call. Aliniambianga, let me just say it in Swahili. Ukai umeweka fare vizuri. Just stay next with money. I don't know, kitu kama hiyo. Kama umeweka fare vizuri. Anytime I'll give you a call. Remember, this time he's too weak. That you will just see the bones and the skin. There's no meat. You will see the bone.
Let me ask you, Liz, what was condition? Was it liver cirrhosis, or what was the condition? Because from the alcohol?
Yeah, it was alcohol that caused, I think, tumor in the colon. I think something like that.
Okay,
yes, so we tried that. As you know, sasa hakuanga na familia. That is why it wasn't. It wasn't because he was too afraid to say it at its early stage. So he was saying that ninahisi tu staki kukula. And he said, God is very grateful, let me tell you. He stayed for 10 good months without food. 10 good months. And I was just like that. But he wouldn't tell us until now, the last minute. That is when we noticed he's getting weak and weak each and every time. So as I was saying, after Bele, he called me and told me, my daughter, anytime I'll give you a call and tell you to come, please don't hesitate, just come. It was like a week now, and then when 1 week is finished, I got a call from my mom, and she told me that, have you heard anything about your dad? And I was just like, so curious, and I siku kujua na ile mawazo, yeah, my dad has left us. And I was just like, nini? Kaniambia, your dad is normal. And I was just like, what? Because it was Eid, during the Eid day. It was on 15th April. That is when he passed. And I was just like, no, my dad told me that he's going to call me to tell me something that he wished to tell me each and every minute. He told me that he's going to call me that when he sees that his time is coming to an end. I didn't believe it. So that shows you that I never carried that hatred of my dad. But the hatred I have is for my other dad, the stepdad. Wait. Yes, so up to now, I remember that when we went to his burial, I cried so much, because I wouldn't think that someone who was light like me has turned to dark color like a charcoal, that you can't even be able to tell whom this is your dad. You can't be, because he became so small, like, something shrinked. You see the bones, you can see the teeth out. No. That is the minute I felt.
It sounds like your dad had colon. I think he got a colon cancer, because that's what colon cancer does. Yeah, that's what colon cancer does. And let me ask you this.
Yes.
Because I know I have a few friends. I have a friend here.
Yeah.
The dad was never in her life, and a few times when she was growing up, he was there, but he was always, he's like a psychopath. Like, it's like he enjoys to see her
Yeah.
or him suffer, like for this person to come begging. Of course, you can
Yes.
see your dad is doing good and this and this. And
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
so many types of, there's emotional, physical, there's all those abuse. What would you tell?
Mm.
Because what I'm picking from you right now, there's that something inside your heart, as Prudence say, you know, as you
Yes.
speak, we
Mm.
can feel it now. What
Yeah.
would you tell fathers? Like the way you are telling us, even though your father was like this, abusive to your mom and everything, but
Yeah.
in his last moment, he started calling you guys.
Yes.
But despite everything he did, you are still kind to your father. And you still, that reminds me, I became a chokora because of my father. But in his
Yeah.
death, it still broke my
Mm.
heart. So
Yeah.
today is Father's Day. What did you
Yeah.
tell those dads who are taking or they have in the past did that to their children? What would you tell them? Would you tell them to make peace, be repentant, try make
Mm.
up for all that? And those who are still alive, what would you tell them?
Just 1 minute.
Mhm. Hey, assalamu alaikum. How you doing, brother?
So sorry,
Kila
ameleta
kitu iko
rafiki
sawa?
yake. Yes?
Kila kitu iko sawa?
Yeah, iko sawa, ni rafiki yake amekuja. They don't allow male friends to see their wives.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Funny, yeah.
nice.
That's why I said I stop. Yeah, so the
I'm gonna
message that I
become a
was
Muslim again to hide. Life with D, life with D. How you doing, life with D? Welcome, life with. Yeah, Goga, you hear that? If you come to my house, you will not see my wife. For my eyes only. I'm gonna become
yeah,
a Muslim now. No, sir.
but that is a very good respect. Sasa angeni
But let me.
bat ni
But he allows you
yeah,
to be on social media. We'll do that another
yeah,
day. We'll do that topic
yes.
another day because I have Muslim background too, so that's a topic for another day. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was asking,
Yeah.
in his deathbed, he needed you,
Yeah.
despite everything being away, all the abuse. When
Mm.
he was like his last moment,
Yes.
he needed you, right? And I know
Yeah.
right now, fathers who are neglecting, abandoning their children. They don't like, even though the kids are grown, they're still not
Yeah.
trying to make amends. Hey, go
Mm-hmm.
Goveskia, the word I used.
Mm-hmm.
Amends.
Mm-hmm.
Amends. Watch Latoya. Latoya, you marry a Muslim. Nobody will see your friends. Go. That's good. So
Yeah.
what would you tell fathers who are still alive, who are still not Sikhs, but they're still not trying to make amendment with their children? What would you tell them? Today is Father's Day.
Yeah, okay. So my first message would go to those people, those men who neglect their children.
Mm-hmm.
First thing, as I said yesterday, before you get into a marriage, you have decisions. Sit down and know what you want with your life. Don't make decisions that will come to hurt an innocent soul. You get?
Sorry. I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
to
so
have an
sorry.
innocent
Goga,
soul.
Goga is making fun. When I was praying and the mic was going, I told God, wait. Let me fix this. Endelea. Endelea.
Okay, so to those
Mm-hmm.
men who are there and you feel like life is not good, there's
Mm-hmm.
some men who are there who just go having fun and they don't care whomever they're having fun with. You don't care whatever you're doing, and sometimes you find that you messed and then you found that lady is not the one you wanted to spend the life with. So
Mm-hmm.
remember that maybe if you mess, that lady is already pregnant. So remember
Mm-hmm.
that is an innocent soul that you left. We have so
Mm-hmm.
many single mothers who are crying and
Mm-hmm.
fighting for their children to have a better life. Many children,
Mm-hmm.
many wives, there are many women, single wives. They are even. Thank you. No, just take him and stay there. So if you are there and you have ever neglected a child, remember that there's one day that crying that young baby is crying, or that crying that old woman is crying, or anyone that you made cry because of that thing that you messed up life with. Remember that one day it will never come. It will come to make you start asking God what happened, and that is where you find that sometimes you're working too hard and you're not being blessed. Why? Because there's a weeping soul that is somewhere that even you don't want to think about. That soul that you made feel like they are never important. That person that you made feel like hawafai kuwa kwa hii dunia. Remember when you are jobless, you are pregnant, and pregnancy comes with a lot of difficulties. Remember now this person have to work to even do some crazy things, to go steal, go begging other people, when you are strong and you can be able to provide for that kid. So that innocent soul that you're making suffer, one day you will come to need that innocent soul. So I have seen so many
Repeat
people
that.
posting
Repeat that
today on
again.
social media, like
Repeat
let
that
me
again.
mention her name,
Repeat
Pretty
that.
Bishi.
That
She said
innocent
that
soul.
she feel too much
Repeat.
pain inside her heart.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Just 1 minute, he's crying. I don't know what happened to him. That's the bag.
The baby must be tired. So basically, it's Happy Father's Day, guys. And I know personally, of course, I'm a dude. And as Nazra shared her story, and she was narrating her experiences. I know there's a lot of us. We have gone through some kind of abuse, neglect, abandonment. Um, I know there's. Hold on, let me try and do this and put myself. When to do this thing? All right. I know there's a lot of us who have gone or experienced some form of child abuse, child, traumatic experiences. It could be anything. By the way, and this also applies to in schools. Like a lot of our schools those days, uh, teachers could be cousins, could be uncles, could be anybody. All right. And I just wanted to, we're not, because I see the baby's getting tired. We're not gonna stay too long. Um, let me ask you, have you been able to walk through some form of therapy on how, because as much as you look okay, you still have wounds, you understand, from your childhood traumatic experience. You still have wounds. You might think you're okay, but you're not okay. And the problem, what happens with this is sometimes we try to just put elastoplast to cover the pain, to just make you, but sometimes it can follow you even in your relationship, your marriage, like eventually, even in your children. You might look okay, but as long as it has not been dealt with, sometimes it will show up. It will show up. It will show up, and it can affect your marriage. It can affect your relationship, even with your children. It looks like you have 2 boys. So, have you been able to seek some kind of like therapy, counseling? Because Liz, trust me, I went through a lot of stuff, and sometimes I look okay, peaceful, but sometimes it will just pop, snap, like whoa.
Yeah.
You wonder what's up? What is this? What's here now? The same sweet guy, the same nice guy is like a crazy man because like of all the traumatic experience I had. Have you been able to find some kind of help, counseling? Because you need it. You need it. You need it. Have you ever been able to find some kind of help? How to manage? You can't bury that. As you're narrating your story, you can't bury that. You can't bury it. It's there. Because I know ladies, I know friends of mine who went through similar situation, and it affects their marriage when it comes to intimacy. Whenever they're about to get intimate, they remember. It reflects. Have you been able to get some kind of help, therapy, counseling? Because trust me, this kind of ancient wounds, when I say ancient, means old, like things you went through. They don't just go. It will affect you now, your present and relationship. Have you tried to find some kind of help?
Okay, like I was saying before I got interrupted by the baby, I have seen now that is where I'm heading. I've seen like someone like Pretty Vishy. You know her? You know her? Pretty Vishy?
Yeah.
Yes, she posted a message on Instagram sending a message to her dad of how he was absent when she needed her the most. Okay? So, when she needed him the most. So sometimes you find like Pretty Vishy, she have given us so many stories about her life that she ended up getting married at a young age so that she can try to feel the fatherly love that she never got when she was growing up. So for me, let me say that if mostly it goes to ladies, sometimes I might find that when you're trying to look for a good person, there's someone who said before that when you're getting married, you either marry someone who is like your dad or someone who is totally different than your dad, right? So for me, it is totally different because my husband, for the 3 years and a half that we have been together, I have not seen any fishy thing. And I remember that there's a time I used to tell him to put the anger on him, and I tell him, you're a very bad dad and what and what. But remember, to them, they know that women are the one who are supposed to be taking care of the children. In Kenya, we know it is 2 of us. For him, in his country, it is for him to go look for money and bring. And for you, it is you sit and do the housework and be with the kids, right? So I remember there's a time that I used to be so angry and so I feel like amenikosea tu kidogo, na sio kunikosea, ni ile tu unapata tu like something that comes into your head and tells you One day this man
Mm-hmm.
is gonna leave you, and you're going to suffer with
Mm-hmm.
your 2 kids. One day this man is gonna do something crazy, and you're going to suffer and feel too much pain. And there's a time that time I told him, I want you to promise me that you will never ever leave me. You will never ever make me cry, because if you do that, the tears that I'm going to cry will never make you prosper in life. And he told me, Nacha, if you need a dad, I'm here for you. I'm here for you, like I have said, nilikuwa namtupia those hasiras I got. I used to tell him no.
Exactly. And that's what I'm asking you. Have you, because now all your childhood trauma, all your childhood experiences, you will release all that anger subconsciously. You don't even know. But you will release it on him. And that's why I'm asking you, have you been able to seek counseling? Because you need, like, even me, I'm going through therapy right now, okay? Because I didn't know I was actually sick. It's a sickness. I was actually sick from all childhood experiences, okay? I would snap, I would do crazy things. I'm sweet and nice. So, and it's good you brought it up. You would release, you don't know subconsciously. You don't know, because the root cause has not been dealt with. That's why I'm asking you, have you been able to seek help, therapy, to deal with your past traumatic experience? Because it's, as long as you haven't dealt with it, you think, we have talked about it, will keep coming on. And he's human. At some point, he's going to get tired. Have you been able to deal with it? Seek for professional help?
Not yet, because I feel like I'm not yet ready to there's a time that you feel, now I'm ready to heal the past and clear the past that is affecting me. But for now, I feel like I still need some time to do the crazy things that they are coming, and then later I'm going to feel to.
Oh, have you frozen? I think she's frozen. So basically, as she was saying, the last point, she want to do until later. But it's better to deal with it like the children are still young than to when they're older, when they start seeing and understanding things. So Liz, I think Liz is frozen. We're not gonna stay. I'll make sure we end this in 25 minutes. Momo's renewing her 9-month membership. Momo. Thank you. Blessings, Momo. Momo, I don't know if you have Liz Nasra. Kindly check up Liz Nasra. All right, it looks like her internet's problem. And as I was saying, all of us, we've gone through some form of traumatic experience. Most people, childhood experience. And I didn't know how sick personally I was because of, and everything Liz was talking about here, I went through that, right? Her daddy was a matatu driver. My dad was a matatu driver. I'm home drunk. It was all violence. It was all everything. Kick away food, all that. It's all traumatic experiences. And get trauma from school. If you're here and you're a Kenyan and you used to be punished, getting whooped, and they made you hate going to school, that's all some kind of trauma. And we might think we are okay, but we are not okay. So I started doing therapy. Start dealing with, we think some of these things, they affect you subconsciously, you don't know. And there's no shame to seek for professional help. If you can't afford, Kenya is special. Look at Momo. Kenya is special. Nowadays, we don't do that. I don't think they have that punishment they do anymore. But Lee's experience, um, it's really heartbreaking. And if you're out there as a father, I know you're not in your child's life, or you are not, and you're aging, you're growing older. Let me tell you, when things get there, your age, you can't do anything. You need to be nursing home or old people's home. You'll be thinking about your children, the children you abandoned. So do not let the grave rob you the opportunity to make up for the mistakes you made. Okay? Like my dad. If he was alive today, he'd be proud of what I turned to be. He'd be saying, that's my son. But too bad the grave stole the opportunity. The grave stole the chance for him to make peace with me. All I have memories is scars, it's pain, scars on the body, scars in my mind, scars in my heart, emotionally, like literally rejection. Everything he ever did. When I go shower, what I see is the scars I incurred in the hands of this man. And the sleepless night. Liz is still telling a lot of stories similar to mine. Sleeping outside with your mom because your dad came home. He's so high, he's so drunk, he started abusing everybody, everything. And Liz and I have a lot of similar stories. Okay, Liz, she's back. So, okay, Liz, I was asking, have you tried to seek some kind of help, counseling?
Yeah, okay. Like I was saying, I don't feel like yet I'm ready to do that. And that is because I feel like I still need more time. Because I'm that person who needs to release all the anger, but very vibaya sana, because I do it on someone who is very innocent. You see? Yeah, because sometimes I find mostly if my husband does something small like this, I would end up telling that you're of no difference with my dad. But I find him so like in a place that he can't even answer me, because I told him my story, but sikumwambia all of it. I told him that if sometimes you find I'm behaving funny, just know it's what I went through. And because he spent a little time with my dad when he was alive, so he got to know that my dad sometimes he's ni wale tu watakutolea tu hasira and you are innocent. So for me, I have not yet sought help, but I'm trying my best.
Yeah. So do you have because actually, you know, that's a sickness, right?
Yeah.
And it's good you're being honest and frank.
Okay.
You tell him like, oh, maybe it's because of this. And me, I've been in a relationship that was affected. I thought I'm okay, but let me tell you, I can be the nicest, the sweetest person, but when somebody touches something that will trigger my pain, if somebody touches an area in my life, it doesn't matter to me whether you're my boss, my director, or if I have to lose the job, I will lose it. I turn into a monster because now I'm a big guy. I can defend myself. I can speak my mind. I didn't know how sick I was, and I never knew why I act the way I act. I mean, like always ready to get physical, to do anything. Until I started seeking help, it was like, oh, this is the trigger. This is if somebody does this A, B, C, D, and I didn't know. So what I'm asking you is, if possible, Liz, try seek. I know in Kenya there's a lot of places you can find counseling. I know the Muslim society. I don't know if they have places you can go seek counseling, but those are things that need to be dealt with. You need to seek you need, this is something that need to be done. I mean, if you haven't, please kindly,
Yes.
otherwise you're still young, you have young babies, and you don't want them
Mm.
growing up and they see this side. The
Yeah.
earlier the better. You see, the earlier the
Yeah.
better. Okay, so if you can find
Oh,
and seek help, please do, because actually that can affect your relationship with your husband, with your
mm.
children, with your even relatives. Like you said, why you used to hate men.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now you met your husband, you're married to him. How do you treat him?
For him, at the
Because I know
first years,
sometimes you'll snap, as you say, you're
mm,
like, oh, you are not different from this, you're not different from that, you're not different from
yeah,
so you will snap, and subconsciously you say those things. That means there are
mm,
issues that have not been dealt with,
yeah,
right? So do
yes,
you ever plan to find a way to deal with that?
yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying all my best because, like you asked, how do I deal with? First, in my first 2 years, let me say, because this one is going to be our fourth year, inshallah. So the
Mm-hmm.
first 2 years were hell.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly when it is coming with the pregnancy feelings, let me say that
Mm-hmm.
was hectic for him, but I thank God because He made him understand that I have come from a family that I have not
Mm-hmm.
seen two people live in peace, two people who are in love live in peace. So I used to tell him, if I behave funny, just tell me this and this, or you can just walk, right? And I remember
Mm-hmm.
there's a time because I have been seeing my mom most of the time she's packing and leave because she don't want
Mm-hmm.
problem. I remember there was a
Mm-hmm.
time that he came with his friend, that is my husband. He came with his friend, and his friend was a drug addict. Sorry to say that. And
Mm-hmm.
he told me that I'll be going to visit my cousin who is coming from Italy, and then I'll be leaving you here with this man. Remember, he's a drug addict, and what history I have with the drug addict. So what followed at that time, I think I was pregnant for how many months? 5 months with the firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
what I did, it was crazy. I told him no, because me, I argue with the fact. I told him no. Isham, no, 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 it can't be like this. He told me, I don't have anything else. I have to go help him to unpack and receive the cargo that has come and hold things and what. So I told him, so you're going to leave me here with this, your friend, and his friend is those people who shout at anything or try to make you like feel like you're not a human being. So for me, I took him like my stepdad. What I
Mm-hmm.
did, I left the house before he left. I packed
Mm.
small things and left the house before he left. I just waited for him to go to take shower, and I took small clothes and left. I never went so far. You know where I went?
Mm-hmm.
His
Mm-hmm.
customer, who is an old granny. And I told her, if he comes to ask for me, please just don't tell him I'm here. And he
Mm.
tried, because that time I decided that I'm not going to tell even my mom, I'm not going to tell even my sisters, because I have tried telling him that I don't want to be left with this man. But for him, he's saying like it is okay because he was not sleeping in the house, but he was leaving him there because of the business. But me, I
Mm.
knew maybe if he goes and the staffs are too much, he might not come back. And this person has come from far, so he might end up what? Sleeping in the same house. And I said, no,
Mm-hmm.
this one is not gonna happen. I came out of the house, and he tried looking for me. I switched off the phone, and I remember he even went to police station to report that he's not finding me. And my mom was so scared and what and other things. That is when the granny told me. Remember, she's a customer, someone I don't even know. She's just
Mm.
a customer, and she told me, this is what you are doing is not good. If he has not beat you, just talk to him and tell him what. I told her, I have already talked to him, and I have told him that I don't want to be left with this man because
Mm-hmm.
of how I have the history with those drug addicts. And he told me, I will never do that. If I'm going tomorrow, I will go with you. And that one was okay. Sometimes I find that he's a joker. Let me tell you, he's a very big joker. And I would tell him, my dad was that person who would joke. He would make you feel like, tell you a word that is hurting you, and then try make a joke on top of it. You get? So my husband is like that. So he would say some funny things, and I get, ile ukiwa na ushazoea kitu, but this person, you're hurting, but the person is not saying like you're hurting. So I used to attack him. Sometimes I even find myself slapping him, because I'm used to defending myself because of what I have passed through. So sometimes I find and I tell him, sorry, I'm sorry. And he tell me, I know, you're sorry and what. But I thank God because he understands, and he knows that some things that I passed, because I told him that I lived in a family that I have not seen two people live in peace who love each other, and I have not seen my mom and dad being in peace. So sometimes I find I'm trying to attack him when he make a joke.
And now it's the opposite.
Yeah,
now it's the opposite. It's the lady who's doing the beating. Typical Nyeri.
Yes,
they say Nyeri women beat their husbands all the time. So, but let's on a serious note. He's a human. Yeah. He's gonna get tired at some point. And instead of blaming the past, instead of blaming what you used to go through, I think we need, like personally, I'm going through therapy, I'm going through help, and I mean, it's something that I have to live doing. See, if you want healthy relationship, if you want healthy lives for your children, because if you don't deal with it now, get professional help. Guess what will happen? When you grow up, your kids will grow up, they will be seeing this. But now it's going to be the opposite. They will be afraid of women. They will not like women, because they will see, oh, if this is how wives deal with it, I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with women. You understand? So the best thing would be, Liz, I beg you, try and seek some kind of professional help. Invest in that's emotional, mental therapy that you need, that would help you. Otherwise, the cycle will go round. Before was your dad, your stepfather, but now it's going to be mother.
Yeah.
You understand? And that guy will get tired at some point. You can't be telling me every time. It's 4 years. Tell me after 5 years, 10 years. He's going to be, oh, alafu ulimpeleka Nairobi. The kina Bobos are there. Kina Wamboys, kina Nyambus are there. My friend. Kina Wanga Walunje wanajua kuhambo. They know how to hambo. My friends. Waluganda wako Nairobi. So I think it's something you need to. I'm so glad you open and confident enough to share that, because that is something. I think, I don't know if people think agree with what I'm saying. You might need to enroll in some kind of therapy that would help you to manage and deal with your past, Mashika, so that even your marriage is gonna be healthy. You will not be snapping, getting angry, and say, "Oh, it's my past, it's my experience. It makes me this and this." So it's something, Liz, I think it need to be dealt with. Atiwa Luganda. The Luganda's women, they bow down, they cook for you, they serve you when they're bowed down. Oh, Lord of mercy. Watch out. So, Liz, we're going to end this in the next few minutes. So, guys, kindly, Momos, please subscribe to Liz. Belinda, I don't know if you subscribe to her. Latoya, Miss Psycho, everybody of you, I don't know if you subscribe. But my dear daughter, now you know you're my YT daughter. So I would like you to go, and I look like your husband is a good man. I'm sure he can invest in this, where you can go visit therapy, seek counseling, even couple therapy. And that's going to be very good for your relationship, Kama iwak, nikunoma. If it doesn't work, yeah, we need to. You can't plaster it. You just can't put a band-aid. No, that's
Yeah.
a disease. Like me, I'm very my disease. Me, nikonoma emotional from trauma. More a lot of traumatic experiences. Not my mother, not my father. I remember my stepfather. I came one time and my sister was crying. I was like maybe 18 this time. I got into a fight with him. I took a machete. I wanted to end that guy's life because my sister told me what he did. And guess what my mom did? My mom called the police on me.
Oh.
I'm trying to defend my sister,
Yeah.
but because my mom got this young Ben 10 as his husband, of course my mom is older than him, so he's trying to mess with my little sister. You see what I'm saying? And when she told me, I'm like, I'm an 18. I can fight this guy. You know what I'm saying? And we got into it. The next thing I know, the police are here because we used to live next to Pangani. Like you, as a mother, you allow this guy to do this, and then you call the police on me trying to defend my sister. You know what I'm saying? So there is a lot of us, even here, we've gone through some kind of traumatic experiences. Please find a way, seek for some counsel, find a way. Actually, nowadays, there's a lot of applications you can download, and they will help you through, and they have communities. So I really appreciate you, Liz. So what advice would you give to others right now? And Liz, I promise you, it's a lot of us. You think you're not struggling, but all of us. What advice would you give to others who may be struggling with similar experiences? I know it's in the past, but it doesn't mean you're here. What advice would you give them?
For me, maybe if I start with ladies, I would actually tell, if you are a woman and you see something that... So I'm saying, if you are a woman and you see that something is not going well in your marriage, you better try solve it early than making your kids see whatever is happening in between you and your husband. Because some things may happen and might start affecting you like the way it is affecting your kids like the way it is affecting me right now. If I never got a person who is understanding like my husband, right now maybe I would be even maybe in the streets or something like that. Maybe I would decide to stay single forever, and of which is it is not a good thing, because maybe if I get pregnant and I leave the baby with the man, maybe he would be saying your mom is a very bad woman and what, so many bad things. So if you are a woman and you are in a toxic relationship, so you better try to solve it as early as now. The other thing, if you are a lady who is trying to get into a marriage, try to look for a good person. I know sometimes you don't find perfect people like the ones we need, but sometimes try to investigate the background of that person you are trying to create a family with. Sometimes try to know that where this person comes, because background, it's called what? History repeats itself like the way it is doing right now. Remember, if it is your mom who is toxic, you might end up, or your brother end up being toxic, or you. So you might find this thing, it's a family thing, and people would be saying that ile ni familia fulani, hapana, I don't want you to get married to that family. Why? Because you have that issue of those too much fights and so many things. So like what I said, so many people, we have, I think 90% of ladies who are sending messages right now on this Father's Day, there are people who are angry, not people who are celebrating. Because we have so many, if you're celebrating right now, you will not even remember that it's a Father's Day. because you have that mom there, you have that father there. Every time that that man is providing for you, he's there. When you want to cry, you have a shoulder to lean on. Until when he goes, that is when you're going to be sending messages to him. But when he's toxic or when he's a bad dad, every time you will be seeing like all the men are the same. Or every time when it is a Father's Day, it will be bringing so many painful memories in your life, you as a girl or a boy. Like Ike, you can see it is his dad. So for him, he has that anger issues with the, and it is affecting him like it's from a man to man. Me, it is from a man to a woman, right? So sometimes when you have those things that are happening in your family, try to solve them early. If a marriage is not working, let it end. If you can solve it, try to call people to solve it. But for me right now, I feel like the way we are heading, we have reached to a point of at a CC, when someone is very nice to you, you become either worst or you become ignorant, because that is what we find. Because to me, sometimes I find my husband is, I think he's the kindest person I have ever found in life. I say the ones we may encounter now. So for him, he might find like I'm taking advantage of him, like the way you said, because sometimes he will do something funny and I'm just like, you think it is funny? So sometimes you find that he is talking and I'm like, you see, you're not making sense, because I'm trying to think something that will bring a conflict between me and you, between me and him. So sometimes when it is not working, just let it end. If you can solve things out, try to solve it out and try to involve people between in the conversation that you're going to be having, because sometimes you find two people cannot solve their problem, but when you involve a third party, that thing is going to be okay. So for those who are trying to get married, or those who have good stepmoms or good stepdads, it is a good thing. So try to appreciate them when they are alive, and you can try to make memories. As you see, as far as I have so many bad memories with my dad, or so many painful things that he made me pass through, because if he was there, because he used to earn a lot of money, I would not have ended up going into a children's home. I would have ended up going with or finding someone who is going to molest us or doing something bad. So if you are a dad, please take responsibility. Be there for your kids. Remember that child is innocent. Whatever conflicts or whatever issues you have, or whatever differences you have with your partner, solve them with your partner. Don't involve your child, okay? So some things there to be done. Like before, we used to hear that mambo ya wazazi wachana nayo, but sometimes because zinakuja tu kwa uso wetu, we cannot control it, and we find that if we can't control it, we will go against one party. We will be finding that we either hate your mom because your mom is trying to terrorize this person, or you will try, if she is too weak to defend herself, you will end up attacking the other person, and you will end up hating men like me, or hating women like, yeah. So for me, if you are there and you feel that there's something that is not going on well in your family, you can try and seek help. Because for me, if I tried to seek help before, or if my mom tried to end the things that were happening in her life, right now I will not be having those traumas. But I don't keep blaming her, because you see, like the ones whom she was to run to, they were the ones that they were chasing her, and like humiliating her and making her like a slave. So try to be a good person. If you are a father, be a good father to your children and be a good partner. If you are a mom, be a good mom to your children, and also be a good woman to your husband. All.
Awesome. 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 Okay, guys. Kindly go subscribe to our sister's channel, Liz Nasser. I think we're hunting for WH right now. Go check out her
Yeah.
channel. And let me say, Lee, I think we've already gone past 2 minutes. I want to say
Yeah.
thank you. Let me put myself back. I want to say thank you for sharing your journey with us today. You know, it takes a lot of courage and confidence to come
Mm.
and share stories like this. I bet there are people in the bush listening, and I'm sure their life is impacted in one way or another. Okay, because somebody maybe was here, they're crying, oh, I don't have shoes, my father is never there, my father doesn't buy me anything. But now
Mm.
your experience is another level. So somebody will look and say, oh my god, some people have gone through stuff, so they can change their mind, they can have like a paradigm shift on how they look at life. And I'm really grateful. Thank you for sharing your journey with us today. Your courage in actually confronting these issues is truly inspiring. And the fact that you came, you say, oh, you can see the symptoms, the way you deal with your husband, and you
Mm.
realize, yes, this is a symptom of an issue, of a condition that needs to be. So kindly, there's no shame, guys. Let me say this as we end. I
Mm.
would say you need to seek support. Personally, I'm seeking support, okay? Because these traumatic experiences have affected a lot of things in my life, my relationships. I would say seek support. Please talk to your husband. You know, there's no shame, please. Seek
Yeah.
support. Do not be afraid to talk. And that's the best thing with therapists. You just talk to them, express, talk your feelings. It's important to understand your experiences as a child can affect you now. You're almost 4 years married. It can even continue and continue if it's not dealt with. All right.
Yeah.
And as you keep saying, your husband is a nice man. Eventually, you found there are nice men out there. So I would say healing is possible. Healing is possible. It is possible. But you have to realize, oh, I have a problem. It's like an addict. Until they realize there's a problem, they will never go to look for help. So childhood traumatic experiences actually is like a disease that affects you emotionally, mentally, and even your behavior. So it is good to realize and seek for help. All right. So thank you again for the honor to come in our space and to just share your true story. Any last word you want to say, and then we end?
No, I think I'm done. Maybe we wait for the next time, but maybe that one will
How
be
can
another
people find
topic.
you? How can people find you?
Okay, you can find me on. I go by the name Liz Nasra. All the platforms, maybe on
Mhm,
TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and also here
mhm,
on YouTube. You can find me under Liz Nasra. So that is if you want to know more about how you can solve yourself your issues that you have, or also because I'm a very good advisor, but sometimes you find that those people who are good advisors, they can never advise themselves, and they can never control
mhm,
whatever they are telling people to control themselves about. So for me, you
mhm.
can find me on all social medias. That is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and also here on YouTube under Liz Nasra. You can find me there.
Mm. All
Yeah.
right, Liz. So you can say bye bye to your people. There are people in the bush watching, listening. You can say bye bye to them, and then we end it.
Okay, so I would like to appreciate all of you for giving me this platform to talk to you and also to share out, because sometimes I feel that this social media is my only place or my only space that I can express whatever I pass through. As I said, I'm not that courageous to sit with one person. Like I direct my story to each someone who's sitting next to me. So thank you so much for the space, and also thank you for the support. I can also say that I'm much grateful for the platform. Daddy Ike, let me just say that because you told me you're not my
Daddy
son.
Ike, yes, you're my daughter now. YouTube, I'm
Yes.
adopted you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And like you have told me, I'm going to try search for help. Like I know my husband is a very
Please
good
do.
person. Yeah, he's a very good person, and if I talk to him, I know he is going to give me the permission and also to work with me in the journey, because he has always been there. Because even on my worst days, he was always there, encouraging me and telling me that everything is gonna be okay. So
That's
thank
a
you so
good
much
man.
for the love. Yeah, thank you so much for the love, and we might meet next, maybe next time, or if you're free, you can come on my live today at 9 p.m. That is maybe after 53 minutes. You can come join me on my platform, that is Liz Nasra, and we meet there. You can ask any personal question that you want to ask that I never saw here. Thank you so much.
All right. Have you set up the live stream?
Not yet. I just go because sometimes kids.
Yes,
I
I
don't
know.
say because some
All
things I
right.
might. Yeah. But I think at
Okay.
9. Yeah.
All right. All right, Liz. You can drop any free when you feel free. But thank you for coming again. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Oh, okay. Thank you
So,
so
bye
much.
bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
All right, guys. That is it. I want to appreciate everybody for coming to Just EKI. If you've been blessed, if you've been touched, let me know below the comment section. And go to Liz Nazra. She has a live stream coming up. Please, let's go support her. Shout out to all the mothers. You see the hustle. She has 2 babies. She's doing YT. She's struggling, doing everything, but she's there giving us content. And check out Momo's, my channel member. Momo's channel member. I had Goga and Momo's, my oldest channel members. Thank you for renewing your membership. And I think I got Margaret Odera, my new channel member. Bless up yourself. And guys, we're gonna see you guys in the next one. Any question? Let me see. Thanks, EK. Lovely interview. So bless up yourself. I appreciate you all, guys. This is my last advice. If you went through some kind of traumatic experience in your childhood, you might not realize how bad it affects you as an adult, your behavior, your reaction, your responses to things. If you went through some kind of traumatic experiences, man, let me tell you this. If you can afford it, if you have medical insurance, you have all these things, seek therapy. They have these numbers where you can always call to talk to somebody. You don't have to struggle alone. Okay? I would say that therapy has been incredibly helpful to me personally. All right. It's allowed me to understand that not, my past should not determine present, right? And I mean, seek for it, guys. Seek for it, guys. So bless up yourself. I hope you guys got blessed and see you. Who is live? Can somebody tell me anybody who is live? Let me see. Let me who's live stream right now. Okay. Oh, I have to do out of work. Anyway, guys, bless up yourself. See you in the next one. And thank you for coming. And happy Father's Day. Hajuis, all the fathers, happy Father's Day. And those fathers who are not in their children right, and you're getting old right now, remember, the clock is ticking. One day you will need them. Start making amends right now when you're still able to breathe. Bye bye, guys. See you in the next one. Thank you for coming.